Hello, everybody. I am Mike from the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike podcast, and I'm back in the wonderful world of Elvis Presley with another edition of Front Row, these music performance reactions, and I am doing a what appears to be a studio performance from the Raised on Rock album. This is the song If You Don't Come Back. No idea what this is. Been recommended by a couple of people, so asking you shall receive. I will check that out. Although, having said that, on the album cover here, it says Raised on Rock, but it also says for old time's sake. So I don't know, quite what that means. But hey, we'll take a listen. Before doing so, though, a quick reminder that I do appreciate feedback very much. So please do leave comments here on the channel. And in addition to that, please do check out the other content that cohabits here, including the aforementioned Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike podcast, where my wife Hannah and I go back and rewatch some of our favourite film and television franchises, along with all of the other film, TV, music, and general pop culture related goodness that is also here on the Rewatch Project YouTube channel. Likes and subscribes, very much appreciated. Subscriptions make a huge difference. It gets the channel highlighted a little bit more on YouTube, and more people find it and more conversation ensues, and that is a wonderful motivator for doing these with a greater level of regularity. And also a reminder that I do pause these songs, I do talk over them. That is how I react. That is what reacting is to me. So if that is not to your taste, then you have been warned. I would, however, suggest that if you have not heard this song before, that you do not follow my terrible example and that you listen to it in its entirety before watching me talk all over it. And last but not least, a reminder that we do very much appreciate donations via PayPal. The equipment that I use for this and for the podcast and for the editing and the images and the thumbnails and the uploading and all of the things that you have to do for the maintenance of a YouTube channel and podcasts. It really adds up, and it is an ongoing thing, so it is very much appreciated. But as is always the case, please do only contribute if you can without causing yourself any financial hardship. Super chats and all of the other things that you can do on YouTube are also appreciated as far as contributions go. But enough talk. If you don't come back, Elvis Presley, let's listen to this song that I have never heard before. All right. Okay, this is different. Ooh.
Well, the car was gone and you were gone, and I almost lost my mind. If you don't come back,
Whoa! Whoa! My keyboard's sizzling with funky heat, with gristle, and the skillet's hot. Wow, okay. This is from 1973, I think, which really does land it in that post Isaac Hayes, Herbie Hancock, blaxploitation cinema, urban kind of funk music, you know, that drum rhythm and the girl backing singers, the bass line, and of course the wah-wah and that funk guitar. Wow, Elvis. I mean, of course, you know, we know that Elvis's music was very heavily influenced by black music, by blues, by gospel, by rhythm and blues. So I guess it makes a lot of sense that he would also be influenced by funk music as well. And it also makes a lot of sense from the perspective of the way that Elvis sings, because I've talked before about how he does those kind of pregnant pauses, those bits where the music will stop and he'll carry on singing and his rhythm will then take you back into the song. And that suits funk music, because with funk music, you know, I think Prince or somebody once said funk music it's not the notes you play, it's the gaps between them that make it funk, you know, and it's an instinctive thing. You know, if you can explain it and you can measure it, then it ain't funky. And I guess the other thing as well is jazz music, because jazz music, of course, particularly in the late 60s and early 70s, had a lot of connections to funk. A lot of the stuff, again, that Herbie Hancock was doing, for example, and Miles Davis as well, really straddled that line. So this all makes a lot of sense to me, although it was quite unexpected. And Elvis is really good at this. And I guess, of course, the other elephant in the room here is this is another example of the fact that Elvis could do anything. He could sing anything. And there's so much grit and authenticity to this as well. This doesn't feel like cultural appropriation. This doesn't feel like somebody, like Kiss playing disco songs in the late 70s, If I Was Made for Loving You, which I love, by the way. But it doesn't feel like that. This feels like something that Elvis grew up poor. He may not have come from an urban area, he came from a rural area, but that experience, poverty is poverty, toughness is toughness. So I feel like this feels really credible, and it feels really good, and it's funky as hell, and I really like it. And I'm going to put it back to the beginning as well. That guitar, great Hammond there as well, or B3 or something.
Don't come back.
That's the thing that Elvis does a lot, and that suits funk so much.
You can call up the people at the crazy house and take this crazy man away.
Love the drum sound.
I ran out on the street in my stocking feet, yelling, police, I've been robbed. If you don't come back,
It's pure Elvis, although the genre's different. It's still pure Elvis.
don't come back to me. You can call up the people at the crazy house and take this crazy man away. Mrs. Brown's been talking about me to the people across the street. She said,
It's a conversation.
if you don't come back, yeah, don't come back today. You can call up the people at the crazy house and take this crazy man away.
Ooh. That jazz funk guitar. Ooh. Ooh. I love that he's letting the band get some here. Smoking hot. That was smoking hot. That was great. Is there anything this man can't do? And again, it's unexpected, but once it was, oh my God, Elvis is doing funk. But then a moment later, I was like, of course Elvis is doing funk. Rhythm and blues music, rock and roll, honky tonk, gospel. It's all there. It's all connected, and it's all part of the American experience. Jazz is one of the great American inventions. So of course, this man who is a walking, Captain America, that's kind of how I see Elvis in many ways. And one of the incredible things about America is this incredible history of immigrants and what comes from all of these people living together and sharing experiences. You see that in the music of New Orleans, and I think it's wonderful that Elvis is embracing this, and it makes so much sense. And he's so good at it as well. I mean, there is a funkiness to the way that he sings and to the kind of rhythm, that kind of those sort of rhythms that he hits, and the way that he'll often do that thing where he'll stop, the music will stop, and as I say, he'll keep going, and you're kind of subconsciously keeping time in your head. So when it all comes back in again, it's this incredible sense of catharsis and sort of inevitability, satisfying inevitability. Funk does that. Funk, you feel the rhythm. So when it does things and it changes, you're locked in. And that's something that Elvis does really well. So yeah, that was great. Raised on Rock. There's just so many great albums that Elvis has clearly done, but people don't talk about. And people like me who are into music but have had a bit of a blind spot for Elvis. There's gold in those mountains, isn't there? So yeah, tell me what to cover next. I'll be back really soon with another music reaction, and I would encourage you to check out all the other stuff on this channel, including the other music reactions, the non-Elvis ones that are on here as well. But also, if you are an Elvis fan, there is a treasure trove. And I should mention as well that I do have playlists on the channel. So if you want to go back and look at all of the music reactions, you can, or if you just want to find the Elvis reactions, you can as well. But also, please do check out the podcast and other audio and video content on this channel. So last reminder that I do appreciate donations, which you can do via PayPal, but please only do so if you can without causing yourself any financial hardship. But for now, I'm out of here. See you soon. Bye-bye.